All right, man. Torture Talk. You know what it is. Back at it, baby. All right, man. So today, Torture Talk. Hey, how you doing? All right, look. So today's episode, we're going to be talking about Elliott Wilson came out and he spoke on what him and Drake talked about before he dropped Family Matters. And I think this is a big deal. Because Elliott Wilson, I have a kind of like a love-hate relationship with Elliott Wilson when it comes to his way about going about things. I think he's starting to catch up because I think Elliott Wilson was one. You know what? I'll give my take on Elliott Wilson at the end. And I'm not gonna forget that. But yeah. So before I get into that, I gotta get a legendary spell. This is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know where to find the ones at. Just don't harass them. I don't know the merch, but I do have content. Absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, link is in the description. Cash App, no more PayPal. They call me a hidden gem. I went from 1,300 subscribers to 13, 14, 15, 16, 17,000. And yes, I am the king of the north, the night king. Let me know what kingdom you from. So look, man, we gonna get into this because I think this is very revealing. And I know Elliott Wilson said some things, but he never really got into it the way he's getting into it now. So let's get it, man. All right, man. So let's get it, man. See what Elliott's talking about.
Morning at 6:16 in LA.
No, I loved all these records. I was like, they're in a fucking battle. This is fucking amazing. Like, and what's Drake gonna do? And that's when I reached out to Drake to see if he's dropping tonight. And that's when I got the goddamn rat emoji.
Yeah,
on Friday.
CT, do you have a screenshot? This is
You know, the crazy thing is, why would Drake say that you're a rat? That's how you know Drake was paranoid, because you're not in Drake's camp. And the only way I would think Drake would say you was a rat is if he told you something and he felt like you told Kendrick. Which makes no sense to me, because you were clearly more of a Drake fan than a Kendrick fan. If anybody was to be on Drake's side, it would have been Elliott Wilson. Him and that crazy laugh. He 100% was on Drake's side. 100%. So I don't understand why Drake would send him a rat emoji. You know what I'm saying? Now, did this come out after 616 in LA? It had to be, because I guess it did. I guess this happened after. I think that's what they said. Let's keep it going.
Fucking battle. This is fucking amazing. Like, and what's Drake gonna do? And that's when I reached out to Drake to see if he's dropping tonight. And that's when I got the goddamn rat emoji.
yeah.
on Friday.
CT, do you have a screenshot? This is the first time. This is exclusive. We actually, because we filmed, we had spoken about it that maybe the first couple episodes, but this is what you actually said to reach out to Drake. You know, this isn't the whole convo, but you said, what made you want to reach out to him at 4:10 p.m. and say tonight?
The rumors that Family Matters was coming, that his response was coming.
And where'd you hear rumors of that?
Like, it was on the internet. He clearly was, to me, like he was baiting Kendrick.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that everybody knew, because the weekend was there. The weekend, not the actual weekend, but the weekend of that weekend was coming. And I don't think Drake was gonna let Kendrick do Euphoria and then early in the morning do 616 in LA and then Drake not say nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I think Kendrick kind of pressured Drake into dropping the next song, because he was like, damn, like he did a back-to-back on me. And now I gotta drop another joint. We went from charging up to back-to-back. So Euphoria was like charged up to back-to-back, the 616. Like, he did a back-to-back. So Drake felt like he had to drop. You know what I'm saying? He had to. But I think when he heard 616 in LA, I think he looked at it like, oh man, he knows something. And that's why I think he sent him that rat emoji.
For those weeks that he wanted to drop a record, which we knew was, I didn't know it was called Family Matters,
Yeah.
but you felt he was going to respond. Like, and again, the 24, 48-hour rule feel like, well, okay, he has to respond to Euphoria. And if he doesn't respond to that, he's dropping another record baiting him with 616. So you feel like Drake's going to drop something. It was a Friday. You feel like Drake's going to drop something for the weekend. Like, he's not going to go the weekend without responding.
Mm-hmm.
So it was more like, is it going to come out tonight? Is it going to come out over the weekend? Like, when is it going to drop? and it was just a furor on the internet. Like, when is Drake responding to Kendrick? Because now Kendrick is on the offensive. So it's like, when's Drake gonna drop this? Because there was a hype of it being the red button. Like, he has this button to push. This Punch said in the interview also. Like, the idea is that Drake has this thing that's such a secret, strong back-to-back kind of record that he has the finisher record in his tuck. That's what he's sitting on. That he has the hot hand at that time to end this or stop it. So
then what were your thoughts? Drake replies, "Man, I know you out there in Venice. Stop asking me questions. LOL." And you put aha, but like, what were you kind of like?
Well,
what's going on here?
That didn't make sense until the Hard Part 6 came out and him saying that you're in the Venice studio. Because I do think that he thought from the raps that Kendrick was in New York working on these records, right? And wasn't in LA. And then I think they put a picture of Alchemist and him in the studio, which was an old picture. And then I think he thought Meet the Grams, Alchemist produced, so he's in Venice working, like in that area. Ellie lives in Venice. So then I'm roped in like I'm in the studio celebrating with these niggas. Like, I don't know what's going on. I never heard anything about anything till it came out. Just like, I had a total fan experience of this whole battle. I heard the records when y'all heard the records. I knew nothing that was coming or not pause, and I knew nothing was going to happen until I heard.
So, wait a minute. All right, so I got to run this back. Because I need to hear exactly what he said again. Because basically he's saying, so this happened after Meet the Grams? I thought that this happened before. Let me run this back again. Yeah, I got to run this back. All right, so let's see what he said.
"Man, I know you out there in Venice. Stop asking me questions. LOL." And you put aha, but like, what were you kind of like?
Well,
what's going on here?
That didn't make sense until.
Wait, run that back. Yeah, all right, come on now.
Is that Drake has this thing that's such a secret, strong back-to-back kind of record that he has the finisher record in his tuck. That's what he's sitting on. That he has the hot hand at that time. That has this thing that's such a secret, strong back-to-back kind of record that he has the finisher record in his tuck. That's what he's sitting on. That he has the hot hand at that time. To end this or stop it. So
then what were your thoughts? Drake replies, "Man, I know you out there in Venice. Stop asking me questions. LOL." And you put aha, but like, what were you kind of like? What's going on here?
That didn't make sense until the Hard.
This was after 616 in LA, because he said right here, Elliott said, "Tonight." Now I don't know what this is up here, above tonight. Elliott sent him a picture or something. I don't know what that is, and Drake's basically saying, "Nah, you chilling with them." And then he says, "Ha ha ha," and he calls him a rat. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when Elliott says, "Huh? What the fuck you got? What the fuck? What the fuck?" Oh, I got a newfound respect for Elliott. I got a newfound respect for Elliott. Look at his response to what Drake said. Bro, I got a newfound respect for Elliott. I didn't know he said that. I did not know. What the fuck you say fuck me for? Because calling somebody a rat, I think it's equivalent to saying, the fuck you say fuck me for? You say fuck me for? That's crazy. But let's keep it going.
Part 6 came out and him saying that you're in the Venice studio. Because I do think that he thought from the raps that Kendrick was in New York working on these records, right? And wasn't in LA. And then I think they put a picture of Alchemist and him in the studio, which was an old picture. And then I think he thought Meet the Grams, Alchemist produced, so he's in Venice working, like in that area. Ellie lives in Venice. So then I'm roped in like I'm in the studio celebrating with these niggas. Like, I don't know what's going on. I never heard anything about anything till it came out. Just like, I had a total fan experience of this whole battle. I heard the records when y'all heard the records. I knew nothing that was coming or not pause, and I knew nothing was going to happen until I heard the songs. I'm just asking like that. Like, I want to hear the song.
Do you think 616 actually kind of got in his head a little bit where he didn't know who to trust, and like now you're somehow on a list of like, I can't trust this person?
Yeah, and he empowered other people. That's when the classic "Stay on Stream" happens, right? He tells Kai Cenat, get on stream tonight. He tells academic.
Yeah, the 616 had Drake paranoid. I think 616 probably did the most damage to Drake in a single diss than before Not Like Us. 616 definitely had Drake on his back. He was on the back foot. Because he was like, oh man, like Kendrick said it. And he actually believed Kendrick. Because you got to think about it, right? Why would you call Elliott a rat if you believe that if Kendrick is saying that I have someone in your camp that's a mole and telling me shit, right? Why would you call Elliott a rat if you didn't believe Kendrick? You obviously believed Kendrick. You had to. There's no way in the world you telling me that you didn't believe Kendrick if you are saying to Elliott that he's a rat. I know you in the studio with them, and then call him a rat after that. So you basically saying like, I heard that song 616, and the only person I could think of that's close to me is you, and Kendrick is right. You're the only one. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
To lead the Andrew Schultz show and go home and get on stream. Stay on stream. And he sends Maul a little button he asked Maul about this.
Yeah.
Maul putting his little button out. So I was part of those rollouts. I told the world, if you're reading this is too late is the real title, those fucking certified lover boy banners across the cities when it came out. I've been part of like helping him roll out projects of him sending stuff that he wants out to the world. So I know the game. It's like he's now picking certain people, but now I'm on the op list all of a sudden. But again, I was on the op list because we had to fall off over the Bobby interview, and then the Bobby what's the name interview.
Tough, yeah.
But then we did squash it. We got cool again. So I was surprised that all of a sudden I'm back on the op list in this aggressive way of calling me a rat. Like I have any information to give to anybody.
Yeah. So then he sends the rat emoji. That's right before Family Matters? And are you like, have you put together this at all at that point? Or are you still like, what the hell is going on?
He's saying, fuck off, Elliott, and I'm about to end this battle tonight. And maybe thought I was, because the thing is, everybody knew I always kind of favored Drake over Kendrick.
Yeah.
The TD probably knows, right? Like I thought I go with the bigger guy, the bigger star. I love Kendrick, but I also thought Drake was the bigger star, the greater artist. Now we're in a dot era, my view has changed. But at that time, I think Drake.
At least he's honest about it. Because a lot of people won't be honest. They won't never say nothing like that. I go with the bigger artist. That's it. He clearly said that. So he said now he feel like Kendrick is the bigger artist. So yeah.
Was feeling himself like fuck everybody, and I'm so confident in this record I'm about to drop. You chose the side. Fuck off, and watch me end this shit tonight with this record. That was the energy.
And then Family Matters does come out, and what are your guys?
Did it come out?
What are your guys' thoughts after? Because there wasn't a lot of time to breathe, but like initial reactions, like, are you thinking?
So wait, who was that? Who was that said? I think it was Elliott. I don't know if it was Elliott, but I think it was Elliott. I'm not sure. Don't quote me. If it wasn't Elliott, then just tell me who it was in the comments. But I think it was Elliott who said he didn't like the fact that Kendrick Lamar did that to Drake. He stepped on his rollout. He didn't like how he did that. He thought that was wrong. Now I don't know who said that, but it was someone who said that, someone of significance. So I will say that, yeah, I understand. You know what I'm saying? But Drake thought he had it, and he got rejected.
Oh shit, he really said something. Oh wow, he's up. Wow, Kendrick's got something. Kendrick's gonna have to come back strong, or is it like this was like what was the actual honest reaction to Family Matters in that moment?
I do want to say this before I say that. I think just because I'm always trying to be that guy, I think it's a mistake that Elliott is sharing this, because it's not something that the world like he probably, this is a personal DM. You know what I'm saying?
No, he already said this already. He already talked about this already. He talked about this on the Joe Budden podcast. That's where this all came from. He already said this already. It's not like, oh man, this is something new to the world. We knew. I just think he didn't really explain it. But yeah, he talked about this already.
I get it, but I just don't do that or believe in that a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
But when Family Matters came out, also to back up to the DM, what do you living in Venice have to do with anything?
I just think he thought that you're in it's in Ocean, the part 6, he says, you're in that Venice studio celebrating. I just think he thought that I'm now in Kendrick's camp. I have some awareness of what he's doing, where he's recording music at that time. That's the only way I could have received it.
Because of it.
Yeah.
I know.
And I think he thought the Alchemist thing, being on that side of town, that he's in the studio with Alchemist. Meanwhile, that was a beat he been had, as you know, right? So, again, I don't know where Kendrick was recording these records, but I just think there's something that triggered his mind of like, I thought he was in Brooklyn. He's not with his woman anymore. He's in Brooklyn writing records, and now he's in California writing records.
Well, and
it's one thing that I notice about people that a lot of y'all make a lot of excuses and assumptions for Drake. I guess because Drake don't talk as much to y'all, so y'all kind of have to do that. In a way, y'all don't have to do it, but y'all kind of do it because y'all feel like y'all probably have to do it. But I feel like a lot of y'all do that a lot of times with Drake. It's always, well, he meant this or he meant that, and Drake could clearly say "fuck you," and y'all would say, well, he didn't really mean like "fuck you" like that. It was kind of like in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Like Academics does that a lot. You know what I'm saying? He does that a lot for Drake. And I'm starting to see like a lot of people do that for Drake. They make these excuses up for him. I don't know why.
It's weird too that some people were blaming like, oh, they conspired, they made a show to go against Drake. The show we recorded after Not Like Us had come out, and Head didn't get a call until the day Not Like Us came out, or that maybe after that day. So like to think that Head is the one feeding Elliott information from Kendrick's camp like doesn't make any logical sense.
It's just silly. That's why you can't engage with it. It don't matter. But what's the question you said?
How did you feel when you heard Family Matters?
I like the first part.
All right. Yeah, the one thing I noticed about Elliott Wilson is the fact that he was always a big Drake supporter. And I think a lot of people, how would I say this? A lot of people, they thought that he was like in Drake's camp at one point. Like, and he admitted that him and Maul said the same exact thing. The best rappers to them ever was Drake and Hove. That was it. The only person better than Drake was Hove. The only person better than Hove is Drake. That's what they looked. That's how they kind of like came at it. You know what I'm saying? And I just felt like Elliott Wilson, to his credit, he is basically becoming a new age journalist. I think at this point, Elliott Wilson is kind of revitalizing his career right now. And not to say that he fell off, but I think that he's stepping up into the new age of how to do journalism. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to hip hop, I really do. I think that sharing DMs is just something that people do now. And I think that a lot of y'all try to pretend like that's not something y'all do, but that's something everybody does. I wouldn't do it though. I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all. I would not ever do that. I don't do stuff like that. Nah, I don't care if it's my worst enemy. I'm not screenshot. I don't even talk in DMs. I don't. If we're gonna talk, if I got something to say to you, I'm saying it to you either in person or on the phone, and sometimes not even on the phone, because I'm not ever gonna have any of my stuff taken out of context. I'll address you in a live interview. That's it. But DMs, no. Saying I'm sorry in a DM or talking crazy in a DM to somebody, I'm not doing that. Nah, I'm not doing that. Nope. Especially a woman. I'm gonna holler at girls in a DM. Nah. Oh, you so fine. Sometimes girls be thinking that because they be posting stuff on their Facebook story, and you say, "Oh, this is nice. You look really nice," and it goes in their inbox, and they think that, "Get out my inbox." Be like, "I wasn't in your inbox. I just said you look nice." And girls get offended. You know what? I ain't gonna get all that. I could go down a rabbit hole with that. But anyway, yeah, shout out to Elliott Wilson, man. Shout out to him for clarifying what happened between him and Drake and that whole rat thing. All right, man. I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm out of here. Peace. Bye. Bye-bye.